Hello everybody, Eerie Arachnids here. Hopefully having a better day than yesterday. I'm going to do the question of the week, the video series question of the week. Today's topic is going to be Old World species versus New World species. What I have in front of me here is my female, or suspected female, we're pretty sure. Tarantula, I can't talk today either, Marinus, or the OBT. She's been out quite a bit, so I know she's ready to eat. Hopefully she'll stay in the enclosure. Old World species are from Europe, Asia, Africa, and we also consider Australia, even though Australia really isn't considered an Old World country. I think we just kind of use it because they're on that side of the west or the eastern hemisphere versus the western hemisphere where we are in North America and South America. So your New World species are all range from South America all the way up through to North America. I think as far north as Missouri, I think, is around the areas where you'll still find some Faunopelma hensais. So that's about as far up as you'll get with tarantulas. Most of them are Central American, and of course there's tons of them in South America. I think South America and Africa hold probably 85% of the animal species in the whole entire world. But that number's just off the top of my head. I'm not really saying that's an actual factual statement, but there's of course pros and cons to both, and I'll try to explain a few of them. I'm going to try and feed her, and then we'll talk about Old World species and the probably top 5 pros, and if I can get that many, and top 5 cons. Now, I didn't write any of this stuff down, so I'm ad-libbing because I'm waiting actually to run and get dinner. Now, Eric and I are the only ones home, so we're getting some subs, pizza, and chicken wings. So we're going to see if she will stay in and take this roach without bolting on us. Let me try to get the right angle. I'm still using the phone. I did do another video with the GoPro, and I'm still having a hard time picking up the voice, so I have to go through and see if there's anything on the settings. I really want her to get this first before I start going over the pros and cons. We'll start with the cons, and the first one is speed. They are all extremely fast. I'm not saying that New Worlds aren't, but Old Worlds seem to be superiorly faster. They're just insane. I've had some New World species, Dolichothele diamentinensis is one that is super fast. Salmopaeus irmenia, very, very quick, but these ones here are just incredibly fast, and they're so fast they'll be on you before you even know it. You know, just the simplest twitch in their enclosure. I'm really surprised she hasn't come out after that roach yet. Ooh, see what I mean? If I bump it, the enclosure, she may bolt. So that's one of the cons. The other of the cons is the venom potency. Again, there's not really much research on potency of venom, but you know, Old World species have a higher, I don't want to say threshold, their symptoms are greater, let's put it that way. So getting bit by one of these are going to give you way worse symptoms than getting bit by something in the New World. Let's see, the other cons are generally they are underground. Most of the species are underground. You don't really have a lot of true, what we would call in the hobby, terrestrial species, which you would say live on the ground, up above, out in the open. Most of them are underground or in webs, and then you have the arboreals that like to hide. You know, the Poecilotheria, the Oviolociopus, there's just, you know, the Borneo black, there's a ton of them, you know, but most of them are underground. The Chelobrachys will live underground. Ornithoctonae would like to live underground. Most of them live underground, so you don't see them much. Polynimbus muticus, underground. These ones here, underground. I'm not saying that they won't live above ground, because they do. My chordata seems to be the one that's above ground more than any of the other ones. Let's see, that's what, 3. I'm trying to think of any other cons, because they're, other than speed, venom, and not seeing them much really, are the top 3. So maybe we'll just do the top 3, and then the top 3 pros of them are they lack urticating hairs. So they don't generally, well, they can't. I'm not saying they don't. They can't kick hairs. So they're more of a flight or stand their ground type of tarantula, the old worlds. Again, I've got the lid here just in case I got to slam it down real quick. She's usually pretty good about eating. She generally doesn't come out, but I know she's sensing all the vibrations, and it's probably confusing her, because I usually feed her with the top on, so the vibrations would get more blocked. Let's try that. Let's put the top on, like you guys can still somewhat see. Maybe if she comes out, then I'll take it back off again. I guess another con would probably be their defensiveness. They're more apt to stand their ground, and there's a big argument about defensive or aggressive. What are they actually? And to me, they're defensive. They're defending their ground, they're defending their territory, they're defending themselves. They don't run you down like a lion would to eat you. That's what I would consider aggressive, something that's actually coming at you to do harm. They're trying to save themselves. So I would say they're more defensive. Now, they may aggressively defend their area, and with OBTs, they rear back, the fangs are up in the air, their front legs are up, their pedipalps are up, and they're snapping down and striking at whatever they possibly can. And then you just leave them alone, they calm right back down again. Once they know that they're safe, generally they're okay. Some other pros, the beauty. There are some outstandingly gorgeous old world species. The earth tigers are the haplopelmas, the libidum, God, I can't even think of some of them off the top of my head. I can't think of many of them off the top of my head. The Thai tiger, some of those I'm better with common names than actual names. And you have the Chilobrachys, the Fimbriatus, just absolutely stunning tarantula. The Cancracans, nice black tarantula. The Ovielosepes is bluish purplish. There's just some great looking old world species. I'm really shocked that she is not eating this thing. I don't know if she knows it's here, or now it went right underneath her and she's not even budging for it. So that's kind of shocking, because she has been out quite a bit. I sprayed her web yesterday to give her some water, because she just, you can see, no matter what I do with that water dish, the next day it's webbed over. So you almost give up. I put another one over top of it. We'll try that later tonight, see if that helps. But unfortunately, we didn't get a takedown with her. Really surprised, to be honest with you. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we kind of knew. And she'll go back down. She tends to eat down in her. Well, maybe she come out. I don't know. You can see where she likes to be. It's right there. She doesn't have a lot of dirt. She needs to be rehoused. She was probably about half the size when I put her in here. So she's molted twice and doubled her size in the last 2 molts. So she's still okay in here, because she has her web for safety and she can get underneath ground. But ideally, she should have much more substrate or a taller enclosure that she can climb on. So, but I think I'm going to let her go 1 more molt. And then we're going to take her out, put her in her final home, which will be a, bigger enclosure that's probably 3 times the size of this. Give her some room to do what she wants. She's the most prolific webber out of the 3. Although my biggest female has done some serious webbing in the last couple of weeks, so she might be prepping to molt, maybe. No, she couldn't be. It's too early. It's only been a couple months for her. So, yeah. And there you go, the beauty. Look at that thing. I'm going to snap the lid so it doesn't accidentally pop off. But even through the plastic, she's something special. Okay, so that is what I think, the old world, and I'm going to do a quick new world feeding, and well, actually I'm probably going to go get the food first, come back, eat, and then do a new world feeding, and then wrap the video up with a small little commentary on the end. So quick new world, I get the pose, is this one's a Brachypelma vagans, the Mexican red rump. We're going to give it a skinny mealworm. I'm sure it's going to do a quick, easy, oh, maybe not. I better watch her because she'll bolt. There you go, you found it, get it. No, a nice little simple, easy takedown. Okay, so this one will probably be a little quicker because we didn't have to wait so long for her to take her food. New worlds, cons, of course, urticating hair. Species by species, I think there's 5, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's 5 types of urticating hair, maybe there's 4. And each species has a different type and 4 different purposes, really, and different ways of delivering. Some will flick, like the Brachypelmas like to, the Aphonopelmas like to, Therafosa definitely likes to. So you have urticating hair is one. That's really the biggest one with New World species. The fact of how bad the hair affects people. I was flicked for the first time, really, with my hands there by the Brachypelma albiceps the other day. It didn't bother me at all, but the roaches bugged me. So, and the crickets. So when I get into them, if I accidentally touch something that they walked on or pooped on or whatever, it generally, I'll break out in a little tiny rash for a day, or I'll take a allergy pill and it'll all go away. But I don't have a lot of cons for, again, I should have probably prepared this a little bit better, but I don't have a ton of cons for these. They're readily available. They're easy to find. They have huge egg sacs, most of them. So that's why they're so easy to find. And so those are some of the cons. Of course, the other cons are they're much less quicker. They do still have speed, and they still do have a decent bite. I wouldn't really want to get bit by any of them. But if I did have to take one, I would rather take one from a New World, that's for sure. They're out a lot. Not all of them, but most of them are visible. Brachypelmas are visible a lot. Again, given enough substrate, some of them will dig. And I tried to experiment with mine. This one doesn't have much of substrate at all. I put it in a small enclosure. Gave it a hide that it absolutely does not use at all. It is out all the time. It seems to me the vagans are a little bit more bold than most of New World species. Dolichothele diamentinensis, mine's hiding all the time. It's not out very often. GBBs are out quite a bit. And the beauty of them is the beauty in the coloring, a New World species, you'll get more of those, of course, reds. There's lots of reds, there's lots of blacks, there's lots of browns, there's lots of purples, lots of, not a ton of blues, but a lot of blues, a little bit of green, some mossy greens, some oranges. There's a lot of, the color variety, I think, in New World species rivals that of Old World species, to be honest with you. So, the difference between them is they're drastic differences, and they're subtle differences, between a New World and Old World. Now, I'd like to hear what you guys prefer. A lot of people prefer Old World strictly because of the urticating hairs bother them, or they just like the challenge of the New or the Old Worlds a little bit more. The Poecilotheria, the Chilobrachys, the African species, any of the baboons, really. I personally prefer the New Worlds, and partially that is because of, I'm getting older and more things are hurting on me. So, reflexes aren't what they used to be when I was younger. If I started this in my 20s, I probably would have the whole entire African group if I possibly could by now, because I do really like the African species a lot, and I do love the Chelobrachys. That whole entire, those two genera, actually genera is the plural genus, those two really kind of hit it off for me. So yeah, so let me know what you think. Oops, I'm slipping on the tripod here. Let me know what your thoughts are, and you know, I would even like to see maybe somebody else do a video comparable to this. The same kind of thing, feed an old world, talk about them, feed a new world, talk about them, and then we can compare between the two of us. You know, even if you like the same things and have the same reasons, maybe you have some reasons I forgot. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. You know, maybe boxing boa or silver spiders, or you know, somebody even KC tarantulas. If one of you guys is up for it, you know, let's see if we can get something going like Tom and Mark does. Maybe something not as dramatic, because I think they have much better equipment, especially Mark. Mark's got some really good equipment. I think, Tom, that's probably why he's beating you, is his equipment. But and the camel spider, that wasn't even fair. But yeah, so I mean, even Tom, if you'd like to do it, or Mark, anybody, you know, anybody that's watching would like to do a comparable video, let me know you're doing it. Somehow we can link them together. I'm not really 100% sure how that works, but no, let's do it. Let's try and find something that a couple of us can do together, even if it's 3 or 4 of us, and we can kind of interact the videos together. So, okay, well, that's my thoughts. New worlds for me, even though I still love my old worlds, but new worlds are my preference. So, again, let me know what you think and why. And I chose to feed this girl because she's pretty much a sure thing every time. She's, you know, I mean, I watched those Mark and Tom do their off the tongs challenge, and I know that poor Tom went through 30-some tarantulas trying to get a couple good takedowns. I have a few that pretty much don't let me down. This one's definitely one of them. Now, that wasn't the greatest of takedowns, but I think the Phormictopus canceridae slings are probably my most aggressive feeders right now. So again, you know, new worlds have some attitude, probably one of the nastiest attitudes out of any of them. So, and I think I would, you know, holding a new world species again would be much more relaxing than, you know, the whole thought of having a pokey on your arm. I mean, I had it once, I don't ever want to do it again. So, have a great day. Let me know what you think. I'd be interested to see what all of you, anybody that's watching the channel, anybody that watches this video, please comment and tell me what you think. Maybe even just your favorite species, period. Okay? Have a great day, and we'll see you guys later.